The clock has struck midnight on Monday morning, and we are off to the races. You are tuned in to the Greatest Asset Community Podcast, and this is the first episode of 2024. So thank you for joining us for this episode. I am joined by none other than Cynthia Davis, a real estate broker and entrepreneur business owner of Alert Properties and Alert Real Estate School with over 30 years of experience in the industry. So thank you, Cynthia, for tuning in and blessing us with your presence in this podcast. I appreciate having you on.
Excited to be here. Thank you.
All right. And so in this episode, for the first episode to get the year kicked off, we wanted to talk about your first step to home ownership. And so we're going to be discussing where you need to go first, because a lot of individuals who want to become homeowners or aspire to one day purchase a home don't know where to begin that process. And so we want to start off by talking about where your first step should be and some things that are really, really, really important that you should be considering when you make that first step, and really before you make that first step, some things that you need to consider to make sure that you make the right first step. So as a mortgage loan officer, I will say that the first step in your home buying process should be to a loan officer. A lot of real estate agents will also send you to a loan officer if you happen to go to an agent first, because you have to get pre-approved for a loan unless you have all of the cash needed to be able to purchase a home. So you can still in 2024 purchase homes all cash. But if you don't have all the cash, you're going to need financing. And in order to get that financing, you need to be pre-approved for a home loan. So you have to go to a lender first, or a loan officer, which is the person that you're going to talk with, that is going to take a look at your financial picture and see what your credit score is like, what your credit profile is looking like. They're going to take a look at your debt, how much income you make, what the ratio is between your debt and your income. And they're going to see how much money you have that they could potentially qualify you for to be able to purchase a home. So your first step, I like to say, is going to be to a loan officer. And I don't just like to say that, it's where it should be, is to a loan officer, so that you can get pre-approved for that home loan, because without it, you won't be able to purchase a home again unless you are paying all cash. So moving on from there, or shifting rather a little bit, when you're going to go find that loan officer, a lot of people don't know where they should go. And so that's kind of where I want to start this conversation, is where you should go. Not all lenders are created equal. And by that, I mean that not all lenders offer the same programs. We know they don't all offer the same rates, but they don't all have the same tools and resources that you might need for your specific situation to get you to where it is that you need to be as a homeowner. And so with that, you have some loan officers, or lenders rather, that offer down payment assistance programs. And that might be something that you need to help cover the down payment so that you can purchase a home. You have some lenders that offer non-qualified loans, or non-conventional mortgages, which don't fit into the standard government loans or conventional loans, but they're loans that can help self-employed individuals. There are loans that can help investors. There are loans that can help people that have unique situations still be able to qualify to be able to purchase a home and everything. And so not all lenders carry all of these programs that might be useful or beneficial for you to have in order to be able to purchase a home. So Cynthia, I'll turn over to you a little bit, because with all your experience in the real estate industry, I know you've had your fair share of working with lenders as a real estate agent and real estate broker. And what has been some of your experience that you've had in working with the many lenders that you've worked with when helping home buyers be able to purchase?
It's amazing, just as you said, all brokers, mortgage brokers, are not the same, are not created equally. And it gets to the point, once you've been in the business quite a while, such as myself, what happens is which buyer needs to be connected with which lender, especially if you know that this buyer is a VA buyer, because that that connection needs to be with a lender who you know is strong with VA loans. And so at the same time, there are some lenders who have more down payment assistance programs. And if my client buyer is going to need that assistance, I need to have the tools and my resources to be able to connect them, because I cannot send all buyers to the same lender, to the same 2 or 3 lenders. I have to have an array, a variety, because I need for buyers to be connected with the right lender that carries the product that they need.
No, absolutely. And I think you hit it spot on with not all lenders specialize in every area that we might need them to specialize in order to be able to provide what that client is needing to get their homeownership needs met. Because I know personally from personal experience, there are things that I'm really, really good at, but there are some other things that I'm not great at. I'm still learning and becoming better at more and more things to add more and more tools to my tool belt, so to speak. But you have some lenders that really just hone in and specialize in a particular area, let's say new construction, and they can just really hammer out those new construction loans. They've done a ton of them, and they may be the best person to go to for that new construction that you're looking to get. Whereas another lender who's really good at VA loans or down payment assistance, maybe you go to them for those loans as well. So one scenario that I like to utilize is that let's say you have 2 lenders, for example. And before I get to the scenario, I will say that a lender and the lender that you select can really have a huge determination on whether or not you even qualify for the loan and your time frame for being able to purchase, simply because a lender is going to see your situation through the lens of whatever programs they have available to them. So the resources they have in their pocket, that's what they're going to see your situation through. And so if you go to a lender and you need down payment assistance, let's say lender A offers down payment assistance, lender B does not have a good down payment assistance program. Both of these lenders can help you with your situation, but they're going to see your situation through the lens of what they have available to them. So if you go to lender B and you don't have the money to pay your down payment, lender B might tell you, okay, you need to go save up the money for down payment. Depending upon how quickly you're able to save that up, it might take you several months or a year or two, depending upon how much money you need to save up for down payment. And then they'll tell you to come back and they'll work to get you pre-approved for that home loan. Whereas lender A says, we've got a great down payment assistance program. We can help you cover your down payment, and we can go ahead and get you pre-approved sooner for that home. So again, it can have a huge impact. Another impact that the lender can have on your ability to be able to purchase or how soon you can purchase a home has to do with what we call overlays. So let's say, for example, an FHA loan has certain guidelines and standards that FHA has set for all FHA loans. You have some lenders, not some, all lenders have the ability to make those requirements more strict. They can't make them less strict, but they can make them more strict. So you have some lenders that put what are called overlays on top of that. So for example, let's say that FHA says we'll go as low as 500 for you to purchase a home if you have a 10% down payment. And if you have a 580 credit score, then you only have to have a 3.5% down payment. But you have some lenders that might say, you know what? We want you to have a 620 credit score before we can approve you for that FHA loan. And that's totally fine. And that's within their parameters to be able to operate. They have more strict requirements in order to get you qualified through that lender. But you have some lenders that don't put those extra criteria or those overlays on top of the standards that have already been set. So the lenders that aren't using those overlays, it might be a little bit easier for you to qualify through them, particularly if you are working within credit scores that aren't the greatest of credit scores. So those are some things that might also determine whether or not you select one lender or another, because again, if you go with lender A and lender A says we don't have any overlays and lender B says, well, we do have overlays, again, they can both serve you, but it might be in different ways and on different time frames. So those are some things that you really do want to be aware of as well. If you're looking to purchase, let's say within the next 3 months, the next 6 months, but you go with the wrong lender, it might take you a year or longer before you're able to purchase a home as well, just because of the resources or the tools that that lender has available to be able to meet your needs.
I so agree with you right there. And that's part of that first step you're talking about. What's your first step? Your first step is to get some education on how to choose a lender. And that is what you're telling them right now. It's not just anyone who does the loan. It's the person who does the loan that meets the qualifications that you need. So don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to say, do you have any overlays on your programs? So you're going to go in there a little bit more equipped now with the word overlays, okay?
No, absolutely. And I will say a lot of people, when they're going to select a lender, again, don't know exactly where to start when it comes to selecting a lender. A lot of people just think, well, I'll go to my bank or I'll go to my credit union. Well, your bank and your credit union may be a great place for you to find a home loan, but they also may not be a great place for you to find a home loan, because as we discussed earlier, different lenders have different programs that may or may not meet your needs. You go to your local bank or your local credit union, you might be able to get a good interest rate, but they might not have access to all of the programs that might offer you down payment assistance or non-QM or non-qualified mortgages, non-conventional mortgages. So again, it really depends on your specific situation in terms of which lender is going to be best for you. One thing you have not heard me talk a lot about is interest rate. And that's because that is one of the things that actually does not matter as much when it comes to selecting the right lender, is the interest rate that they charge. Because first and foremost, you want to make sure that they have a program that's going to be able to meet your need. If they say, oh, we can offer you a low interest rate, but yet they can't meet your need to help you purchase a home today, if you're looking to try and purchase a home sooner, well, then that low interest rate is going to do what for you? Because you can't get the loan. So first and foremost, you want to make sure that you are with a lender that has the tools, the resources, the programs that are going to be able to meet the need that you have, so that you can purchase that home in the time frame in which you're looking to purchase it in. Moving on from lenders, another first step that you may have if you're not able to find the lender, or you're not uncertain, or maybe you feel uncomfortable with just approaching a lender because it might seem, a little bit foreign to you. If you find a good real estate agent or a good realtor, that individual can also help point you to a good lender as well. Every good realtor should have several different lenders that they can recommend to you, for you to reach out to help you with your situation. So again, a real estate agent or a realtor is not going to dig into your financials. They're not going to look at your credit score, your income, any of that stuff. However, with them knowing a little bit about your situation, for example, if you're self-employed, or if you're a veteran and you're looking to use a VA loan, you're looking to purchase a lot and build a brand new home on it as a new construction, with them knowing a little bit of detail, such as what it is that you're trying to accomplish, that will help guide them towards the lenders that they know, who can then in turn serve you better. So I wanted to put that out there in terms of, if you get connected with a good real estate agent or a good realtor, those individuals also know great loan officers that can help you be able to accomplish the financing for your home as well. And getting connected with the right real estate agent, and Cynthia, I'll throw it to you, is not as easy as, my cousin got licensed as a real estate agent. My uncle's a licensed real estate agent. I just picked up my real estate license recently, or whatever it might be. You really want to find someone that has a little bit more knowledge in terms of the area that's being serviced and everything. So Cynthia, I'll let you lead it a little bit with saying what's some of the criteria that would determine a real estate agent that would be good for you to link up with for your home ownership journey?
Okay, Frederick, let's do this. The first thing I want to call this person, this real estate professional, needs to be your trusted partner. And this is a person that you need to be able to think of as your trusted partner, someone that you're going to go through this process with, that you can trust and that you're partnering with to go through this transaction. Because this trusted partner needs to know what they are doing, have some experience, or at least have someone, a mentor who can help guide them through the process. This is a person who will listen to your goals and your hopes and dreams and desires of home ownership and be able to translate that and direct you and guide you into the area that you desire. This is a person who is not so much telling you what you need to do, but they're listening to you, taking that information and then translating it into what they see in the real estate market. Another thing I would say, in this trusted partner that you choose someone that works heavily in the area that you desire to be in. You know, real estate agents usually are licensed in the state that their predominant state. Some agents are licensed in more than one state, but let's be real. If you're licensed in state A and you are also licensed in state B, but you do the bulk of your work in A, but you know someone who wants to buy a property in state B and you go running over to state B, you might not be servicing, it might not be your best trusted partner because they're not as familiar with that area. Get someone who's knowledgeable in the area that you desire to purchase in.
And
That's
that's
going to be
key.
key.
Yeah, that's key as well because I'm sure you've seen it as more than I've seen it, where someone who's looking to list their home, you get an agent who's not familiar with the market in that area. You might end up having someone that's overpricing or underpricing it. In the end, yeah, it's just better to work with an agent who knows the area that you're looking to go in if you're when you're selecting an agent that you're going to be using for your home ownership journey and everything. So you reminded me of what I was going to say earlier as well, which is that with a lot of loan officers, you want to, while you're searching through loan officers, and I highly, even as a loan officer, recommend that you check with a couple different loan officers, see some of what they're offering, but I also recommend that you see or get a feel for rather how they're going to educate you and how they're going to put together a plan to help you reach the goal that you're trying to reach. So you have some loan officers that, again, you will go to and they'll quote you the interest rate, how much it's going to cost for your down payment and your closing cost and how much you're looking at, and say, hey, you ready to purchase a home? And that's great, just straight to it. But then you have some loan officers that are going to say, okay, well, they're going to take a look at your credit profile, your debt. They're going to look at your income. They're going to look at, okay, well, these are our interest rates, but this is kind of the interest rate that I recommend you coming in at, because you will actually be able to save a little bit of money. And with those savings, you can actually pay off this other debt that you have right here, which in your total debt ratio of all the debt that you're paying every month, to include the other debts, credit card, car payments, student loans, whatever it might be, we're going to lower your total monthly payment by taking this interest rate instead of this interest rate. Even though this interest rate may be a little bit lower, you're actually going to save more money every month by going through this interest rate. And then later on, we'll be able to get you into this place, or it's going to set you up for where you want to be in the future, or depending upon your family situation. There are loan officers that are going to be more in depth with formulating a plan that's really going to help you be successful in paying off debt and getting the home and setting you up for that next purchase, if this is a starter home for you, or if this is going to be an investment home and you're only going to be here for a couple years, whatever it is, you have some loan officers that I think are going to do a little bit better in terms of taking a look at your entire picture and really explaining to you why A is a better option over B, or why B is a better option over C. And so these are the loan officers that you really want to try and get connected with, because they are going to be the best ones in terms of guiding you to where you want to be, vice just quoting you the lowest rate and putting you in a program that's not really going to set you up for success in the future.
Oh, I so agree with you, because I love it when the loan officer tells my client, you can purchase a home, but is that your only goal in this whole process? Would it be purchasing a home and at the same time setting yourself up for success financially to purchase another home sooner?
No, absolutely.
I love it
So,
when they do that.
yes, no, absolutely. And I am of the mindset that I really like to educate. If you can't tell through this channel, the podcast, all the content that I push out on social media, I really like to educate and bring the information and allow you to make the decision for yourself in terms of what route you want to take, because ultimately it should be in your hands. This is your future. This is your decision that you're going to be making, but you need to have those tools and those resources so that you can make the most informed decision possible. And so that is my stance on in terms of the type of loan officer that you should be looking at partnering up with. To use Cynthia's word, is the type of loan officer that you should be looking at partnering up with for your home ownership journey. And again, it might not just be this home, it might be beyond this home, but you get that trusted individual who's going to help you get to all those phases. So that is the first step of where you should be going to when starting your home ownership journey. You should go to that loan officer first. Get a great loan officer, interview several loan officers so you can find that great one. But get that great loan officer. And again, it might not be at a bank or a credit union. It might be at a mortgage broker or an independent mortgage banker. A lot of loans are originated outside of banks because banks have multiple different ways in which they are able to make money, so to speak. So banks take deposits. They have a depository. They take deposits. They take your money, and then through the money that you place into the bank, they take that and they invest it in bonds. They loan it out so that people can, purchase cars and, credit cards. They issue out credit cards. So banks have several different ways of making money and generating business. Mortgage brokers and independent mortgage bankers are solely in the business of originating mortgages. And so because of that, you tend to find a lot more programs available to you when you go to an independent mortgage banker by going to a bank or a credit union. And so I'll just leave that with you as well, just so that you kind of know the difference between how they operate and the programs that you might find available to you at one versus the other. So that's what I wanted to bring you with to kick off the 2024, is just letting you know, hey, when you're getting this process started, and my hope that you are getting your process started this year, even if you're not looking to purchase this year or you're not ready to purchase this year, reach out to a loan officer this year so that you can go ahead and start getting knowledgeable on what you need to have in place so that when you are ready to purchase that home, you have all the pieces to the puzzle in place and you can go ahead and proceed forward with that purchase. Because I've run into so many individuals who they come to me and they're like, hey, I want to purchase a home. And then they're not ready. And it's like, I wish you would have came to me 6 months ago, because then I would have told you 6 months ago, hey, you need to get this and this and this in order. And then 6 months from now, we'll be ready to purchase that home. But what else did you have?
What I have is right in line with where you are. prepare yourself. Prepare yourself for the purchase. And the word I like to use is think ahead. You know you want to purchase this home. Start before you ready to purchase. You think you're ready to purchase. Put yourself on a budget. Start working, make sure your credit is in order and you're credit worthy, and get with the lender, everything that we talked about so far. But think from the real estate professional point of view. Think ahead. Let's say you're now pre-qualified. Think ahead. Take time to think. How long am I going to be in this property? Am I going to purchase just to meet my needs for today? Or are we going to be here long term and we're going to have a family? Or do we need to go ahead and purchase this extra home with extra room now? Take a moment. You're now pre-qualified. Breathe, but think ahead. What is this home going to be for you? How is it going to service your needs? Where does it come going to be? Resale value. Start thinking about those things.
No, absolutely. And it's like anything else in life. When you are heading for retirement, you don't wait until you get to retirement to start saving. You don't wait until you get to, I want to take a vacation to start saving and to find out how much that vacation actually costs. Same thing with buying a home. Don't wait until I'm going to be ready to purchase a home in July. So when May comes or when June comes, that's when I'll start my process. It's like, no, start the process now in January, because now is when you want to discover any of those hurdles or those bumps in the road that could trip you up later and end up delaying you till October, December, or even 2025. So you want to discover those things now, not 1 or 2 months before you actually are ready to purchase, because it may take a little bit more time than what you think to remedy some of those issues that might be discovered, whether it be within your credit or your debt to income ratio or anything like that. So you want to plan, you want to prepare so that you are ready when the time comes according to your schedule to be able to purchase that home, not finding out right before and then having to delay your plans and everything. So no, I completely agree with that. And yeah, that's all that we have for you. So thank you for tuning in. You can, as always, find me on social media. I am GA Loan Officer on Instagram and TikTok. Please do follow me. I put out a lot of great content on there. You can also subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to our channel. It would do us a big favor if you would, because it just helps us to be able to push this content out to more people, to help educate more people with the information that's going to help put them in the best position for their home ownership and financial goals as well. So you can also find Cynthia Davis, alertpropertiesre.com. So check out the website and you can get plugged in or connected with Cynthia if you're looking to purchase a home in Georgia, or she's licensed in a few other states as well. So you can just reach out to Cynthia and she can help guide you to where you need to be. And if it's an area where she's not able to service, she can definitely refer you to an agent that is able to service you in that area. So in either way, you have someone who's going to connect you with a great individual that can help you wherever you're looking to be at, or she will personally be able to help you. So in any case, thank you for taking the time to tune in. Thank you for Cynthia for joining us on this episode, and we look forward to seeing you in the next episode.